What's up, y'all? Barbershop Conversations, man. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Who we got in the building? I know I started the show a little bit early. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Black Cat. Yeah, Kyle Davis must be happy tonight. He won $50 listening to me. What's up, Jamal? We should be no audio. Should be audio now. So we good. We good. We good. And without further ado, the most beautiful girl in the world about to open the show. Kennedy. Thank you. Kennedy, Lenny Jean Hawthorne, ladies and gentlemen. Hawthorne. Oh, yeah. Kennedy, Lenny Jean Hawthorne, ladies and gentlemen. Hawthorne. Yeah. Coming next to the stage, Lincoln Curtis Gerald Hawthorne, ladies and gentlemen. Hawthorne. The Lincoln Special. Let's do it. Lincoln Curtis Gerald Hawthorne, ladies and gentlemen. Hawthorne. Thank you. Love you, dog. Have a great night. See you in the morning. Yes. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. 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 Perfect, man. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Josh. Appreciate you, Gravedigger. And you can close the door. Love you, dude. Without Black inventors. Yeah, this is your show, buddy. It's your show. It's your show. Next thing you know, mommy gonna be coming. Hey, close the door. Close the door, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all in about a year, the first 30 minutes is gonna be the the Hawthorne Variety Show. I'm telling you. Oh man, you know what I mean. But anyways, man, thank you guys. What a day, man. But first, I want, but before we get into the fun and what you want to do, how about that old ass man that killed them 10 people, man? Did y'all hear about that in Monterey Park? Which is the community in which Dre grew up in, you know. Insane piece of shit, man. 77-year-old man, they say. I don't know. I haven't done my investigation, but the poor thing is that 10 families woke up with a deceased family member and another 10 family members woke up with a family member in the hospital because of some ignorant shit. And the man took his life like a fucking coward, man. I wanted that man to go in jail and get his 70. I wanted the worst thing. I wanted the worst thing to happen to that man. And it's just awful, man, when you got people like that, man. And whether it was Buffalo, whether it's Timothy McVeigh, whether it's them dumbass Crips and Bloods, whether it's the Asians, I just think it's just hideous, man, that you wake up one morning and say, I'm just going to kill some people because I am unhappy. My life isn't going great. I got voices in my head, so I'm going to just go kill somebody, man. And it's just beside me, man. And rest in peace to those families, and may that man burn in hell forever, man. And may he burn in hell. Man, I wish them people in prison would have got a hold of him, man. And but we'll make a hard transition. Happy Chinese New Year. Happy Chinese New Year. Is that for next Sunday? Is that for next Sunday? You want to show the people your Chinese dress for Chinese New Year? Hey, you can stand over there by the piano. I told you it's gonna be a variety show. Stand over there. Stand back up right there. It's Chinese New Year today, but we celebrating it next Sunday, so we'll start at 8:30 show again. Stand up, young lady. Stand up. Chinese New Year. Take a step back. Yeah, Chinese New Year. Celebrate your culture, man. Celebrate your family. Do all that stuff, man. It's important. And putting culture in our kids, man. But yeah, man. So that's where we're at. Chinese New Year started today. Dre's family celebrates it next Sunday. So we'll be doing that next Sunday. We'll probably have a late start next Sunday. Again, like 8:30, but we will be here. I saw something before we start, which is anything else? The Tavion owns Kyle $50. What else? I had to convince Kyle. Kyle, I deserve 10%. I'm just gonna say that. Fred deserves 10% because you were such a coward. You were so afraid to put $50 on the line against the best when you got the best defense in the NFL, knowing you wasn't gonna give up a touchdown. Well, you only gave up one, but I deserve 10% of that because I had to convince Kyle to take that bet. He covers the bet. It was -3. So that's what it was. Congratulations to Kyle. I want my 10%. 10% of $50 is $5. Okay, so I need $5 off of that 50 off that 50 ball. But I saw something just now, and it ties in. And I know it's gonna be a theme. It's gonna be a theme throughout this show tonight. Y'all just sent me that Shannon Sharp clip. We might as well. We about to murder Shannon Sharp tonight. Stephen A. Smith and all these fucking baby daddies that came to be self-righteous black leaders that can't take care of their fucking families. I saw this, man. I saw this. Think of Shade Room. The Shade Room? Damn, they got so many fucking pages. Well, it's in my stories. Let me just go to my fucking stories. I want y'all to see this because this is what we're talking about. And I want us to know the big picture in this. It's cool when you're 19, 20, 25, 30. Oh, it was the Shade Room. It was. But this is the type of picture and your mindset. This is your mindset. Y'all think I just be picking on shit, right? But this is your mindset when you got 3 baby daddies. You've never been married. This is the type of picture you take with your daughter. I mean, I'm not mad. She's a bust down. You know what I mean? Erykah Badu, and is her daughter 18? Well, I don't give. What the fuck? Nope, not old enough, fellas. Focus on Badu. 18, not grown. But she's just 18 and she flaunting her daughter like this? Well, she want her daughter to be a bust down. Fuck the bullshit. You know what I mean? It's just, y'all think I be bullshitting. Who's her 3 baby daddies? The rapper that went crazy. I mean, he's a talented artist, but he went crazy. What's his name? Jay-Z used the shit out of him. What's his name? Jay Electronica. Who's the second baby daddy? Andre 3K. He went crazy. And DLC, right? He went crazy. Everybody that touches Erykah Badu loses their career. Everybody, shout out to the Chiefs. Shout out to Joe Burrows. I told y'all, man, Joe Burrows, you got to stand in that quarterback and sling that ball. It comes down to quarterback play. Y'all like the motherfucking runners, and I mean they work great on Madden 2024, but in real life in the NFL, I want Joe Burrows. You know what I mean? I want a man that can stand tall in that pocket. That's it. You know what I mean? You can have even though I like him, I'm a big fan of him, and he's probably one of my favorite football players, but the Buffalo Bills quarterback, Lamar Jackson, the Philadelphia quarterback, the Kansas City quarterback, I want Joe Burrows. I want a kid that can stand tall in that pocket. You know what I mean? So we got some great games next week. So we're going to be late again next week. Got Chinese New Year, NFL. We'll be back here at 8:30 next Sunday. So thank you guys for but this is, she got 3 baby daddies. And guess what? This is how you pour into your daughter. You know what you do, little daughter, little Badu? You get you a Tyrone and you let him use you for your body, because you know what we gonna sell? Sex. Now, I ain't mad. I'm just showing you the mindset when you got 3 baby daddies. This is the mindset. Bust her down. Erykah Badu is a bust down. Erykah Badu is a thought, a bust down. Her daughter is 18 years old, as they say in the comment section, right? 18 years old, and she says, baby, turn that thing around. Turn that thing around. But guess what? If a nigga, if a man objectifies her, she becomes feminine. If a man looks at her too long, oh, she this. But where's the daddy at? See, if you had a dad in your house, the daughter don't take the picture because the woman mindset is different. Completely different. She doesn't even think about taking a picture like this when there's a man in the house. But this is the problem when you don't have men in your house and you're raising these kids all alone and you're a celebrity and you think the celebrity is the success. But you know what Erykah Badu gonna say when she coming? Oh yeah, we gotta meditate 3 times a day and we gotta think with our third eye, and the only way we heal is from within, and we gotta say chai chi and hum de la la, and she got 3 fucking baby daddies, man. The fuck we on? She 18. So you can look at her. You can do what you want. She wants you to look at her ass. She wants you to objectify her daughter. She's propositioning her daughter to the world. Sell that thing. Sell that thing. You know what I mean? Whoever has the most money deserves you, daughter. And I ain't mad at it. Listen, Fred ain't complaining. Fred is not complaining because treat Erykah Badu how she want to be treated. Treat Erykah Badu and her daughter how she want to be treated. She's 18. She's grown. You ain't going to jail in America. Do what you want to her. Fuck it. Do what you want to her. She married those rappers, and that's why she got 3 rappers. She was fucking for clout. Oh, but she made great music. Yeah, so did Elvis. So did Marvin Gaye. Made great music. They still fuck little people. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, R. Kelly, great music, probably the greatest of this era. Next to Marvin Gaye and Al Green, and then the list goes on. Teddy P, you know, her Teddy P was a little bit different too. I don't know. But at the end of the day, treat them how they want you to treat them, guys. Stop putting these celebrities and if Erykah Badu got a fat ass, objectify her. Don't respect her brain. Don't respect her mind. Her most prized possession, Martin Luther King, him too. You know, her most prized possession, she objectified her. You know, Martin Luther King's birth name is Michael, right? Fun fact of the day in the barbershop. But yeah, you objectify her. Stop treating these celebrities like the Braxton sisters. Man. Stop. Nah, don't because they songs play on the radio. Nah, man. Erykah Badu needs to be bowed down on your futon. She don't even deserve to lay in your bed. She don't even deserve to lay in the bed as your future wife. Bust her down like she deserved to be bust down. Erykah Badu deserved to be bust down. She teaching her daughter how to be a thought. And I'm not mad because these are the parents. I ain't mad. I played in them streets. I'm not mad. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person. But what I'm saying is, fellas, when you become the third baby daddy, this is the mindset you got to deal with. I don't care how much money she is, how much money she got, how famous she is, how fat her ass is. It don't change. The percentages are the percentages. Erykah Badu is a thought. She gonna train her daughter to be a thought. And guess what? Where's the dad? And the dad probably took the picture. Jay Electronica, crazy ass, probably took the picture. This motherfucker put a tattoo of Farrakhan on his face. He put a grown man on his face and he got a daughter. Get the flying fuck out of here, man. Man, listen, people are crazy these days, man. People are crazy these days. Motherfucker put pictures of their sports teams on. They got 14 kids and got the Lakers. Who else? What's the most? The Cowboys. They got pictures of all them motherfuckers on them, but they ain't got pictures of their kids, man. What type of shit is this? You know what I mean? That's the least you can do is get a tattoo. Yeah. Yeah. She need to be bust down. Her daughter is gonna be on the her daughter's gonna be on the celebrity stroll. Oh man, she about to get that Lori Harvey treatment. Oh, she about to. I don't know if she's pretty or not. I ain't looked at her face yet. I ain't looked at her face yet, man. You know what I mean? I assume she was 22, 23 years old. I swear to God. And I just saw that comment right there. Not old enough yet, fellas. Fellas, focus on Badu. 18 is not grown. Nah, she 18. She old enough to vote. She old enough to post. Treat her like she want to be treated. Nah, don't play them games. We ain't playing them games, y'all. She's a bust down like her mama. And does her mama got a tattoo on her back? Let's see. Let's see if her mama got it. No, she ain't got. Oh, she got those spiritual waist beads. Nah. Treat them like they deserve to be treated, man. They bust downs. Bust downs. They bust downs. You know what I mean? Bust downs. They bust downs, y'all. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun tonight, man. So, what else? Ed Reed got fired on a job he never formally took, but he got fired from Big Mary McLeod Bethune and Cookman College. That whole shit is just a piece of shit, man. We got black people using black people and stealing money. And how can you listen? I don't give a fuck how black the school is. My son ain't going to a school where their intramural field looks like an elementary school in the hood. I'm gonna repeat that again. My son or daughter is not going to school where the athletic field looks like an elementary school on Martin Luther King and 38th. It's not happening. It's not happening, y'all. And y'all say Deion Sanders should have stayed. No, Deion said what he said he was gonna do. I need some water, y'all. Oh man. He said what he said he was gonna do. You know what I mean? You know, it's oh shit, really? Reggie Theus was my neighbor. Reggie Theus was. Oh man, I got to read it. When someone beam in, I'll read it. He ain't going. And I'm gonna tell you guys, don't send your child there. Listen, hear me out. If you done bust your ass for 18 years or 19 years when your child go to college, and you done provided a home, clean backyard. You done bought them their Honda Accord so they can drive to and from school and pick their little brother up. You done gave them their stipend. You done made sure that the home is safe. Mom did her job. Dad did his job. Why would you send them to a school that is beneath your living expectations? Fuck that, man. Nah. Go to the best school. Cause at this point, yeah, that mass shooting is sick, man. It's fucking sick, man. I wish he wouldn't have killed himself. But this is what we're dealing with. And you know what people gonna say? Oh, but we got to stand there and make change. You can't make change. Listen to me. You cannot make change from your seat as a head coach. You don't get the budget. You don't vote on the budget. All you can do is expose. They kick you out. You go away, and it's politics as usual. It looks like to me on the outside looking in, without doing any research, I'm a novice at this, that at many of these HBCU colleges, only the top 5 or 10 people at the college benefit from it. The professors are underpaid, the students are underserved, while the professors make $500,000 a year and got a credit card and a car. Insane, right? Insane. And fucking sane. It's just it. Mm. So, all right. So the point I want to make is it's just beyond my own. Fuck these HBCUs until the white man needs to step in. See, and this is why y'all get mad at me, because I'm very literal and very absolute. These HBCUs, and I'm only going to speak of 2 because I can't speak for the ones I don't know of. If you have expertise and you want to beam in, you're more than welcome to beam in. But from what I know, Bethune-Cookman, from what I heard, excuse me, and Deion Sanders, Jackson State and Bethune-Cookman are robbing people, literally robbing people, not paying the people, intentionally underserving the students. And what's going to happen is the government's going to step in, just like they do in the hood. White people got to come and save black people. They got to intervene. They got to expose. We tried it with the Nation of Islam. It didn't work. Elijah Muhammad he kicking the babies out of he kicking the women out of the Nation of Islam that he having babies with. man, you can't make this shit up, man. You go to these HBCUs and the alumni don't donate. The alumni don't donate, dog. They don't donate. Oh man. Hell no. I'm taking my ass right up the coast of Stanford. UCLA, US, not even USC. It's too close to the hood, but UCLA, Stanford, Harvard. You know what I mean? Hope my child never go to a school in Atlanta. Hell no. I don't. Yeah, just like when St. Paul's College was closed. I don't know that story, but I guess I need to Google that. But yeah, I pray my child never go to a school in Atlanta. I ain't got to worry about it because I can afford to pay. But they ain't going. I'm gonna tell you right now, if Atlanta don't change, we're 15 years away from Lincoln going to 10 years away from Lincoln going to college. If he decides to go, if he wants to go, he ain't going to school in Atlanta. How it's looking right now. No way in hell I'm sending Lincoln to Atlanta. Hell, fuck no. I'm sorry. Nah, you got no chance. Georgia Tech. What other school there? You ain't getting Lincoln. Nah, you ain't getting Lincoln. Nah, I'd rather pay $60,000 a year at USC. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit. Atlanta, they drawing down. You know what I mean? Shootings at college. Google these shootings in Atlanta colleges. The reason why I know that there is because my barber, my barber, where I get my beard done, her daughter goes to school in Atlanta. You know what I mean? And she's a great student. and she's going to be successful. She had a 4.0 her first semester. She's going to be great. But damn, every time I sit in that chair, something bad happens. Something bad happens there. You know what I mean? Person got killed, person got shot. I'm like, God damn. You know what I mean? Well, if they getting a full ride there, they can get a full ride somewhere else. You know what I mean? Right? I don't need them. Listen, I didn't turn down millions. Why the fuck would I turn down 60,000? I'm just keeping it a buck. You know what I mean? Shit. I don't give a flying fuck about that. Uh, but yeah, man, I want to bring this up, man. We're gonna start here with Mr. Steven Jackson. Look at this shit, man. I saw this shit. Hmm. Y'all think this is by accident, but this is on purpose, y'all. I know that this is on purpose. Y'all not gonna believe me because y'all young and y'all like y'all. Many of y'all love celebrities and y'all want to. I understand that. I get it. And this is why this channel exists. This is why I am a coon 2.0. This is why people don't like me because they have crushes on their favorite celebrity. They lack dignity, self-respect, everything else, right? And Houston lost to Temple at home. Damn. All right. This is the leader of the black community, y'all. This man said he's the leader of equality. Listen to this. Steven Jackson admitted to having children with 5 different women, paying them millions of dollars in child support, and he still doesn't see his kids. I don't need to explain the emotional toll that can take on a father. Steven Jackson has begun to use social media to educate the younger generations. The man got 5 baby daddies. Y'all think I be joking? Y'all think I be joking? Um, but the reality is, see, you don't even know who Malcolm X is, LB. Malcolm X didn't die that man. So you better wake the fuck up. Malcolm X says, I stand for truth no matter who tells it. You know what I mean? He said, I drunk out of the same cup who would have been considered a white devil where I come from. Nah, see, this is why y'all got to read and be educated because people only know what you tell them. People don't read books. People don't use Google for information. They use Google to be entertained. When people say things about Malcolm X that I know that isn't true, and I'm not saying I'm the expert on Malcolm X, but I have 20 years of information in my head. But Malcolm X ain't the man y'all think he is. That's why Malcolm X is so great. Malcolm X went from a thug, a street dude, a womanizer, a pimp, a petty drug peddler to the Nation of Islam and that ideology, and then went to public radio, public TV, and said that shit is wrong, and said I drink out of the same cup as white people. He's not the same, not the same man you think he is. Y'all stop at by any means necessary. Y'all don't even get to El Haj Malik El Shabazz. Black people don't even get to them last 2 years of Malcolm X life. Because why? They indoctrinated by white people. And see, what you're not gonna get me is not telling the truth. You know what I mean? Same thing with Martin Luther King. Same thing with Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King said this. No, Martin Luther King woke the fuck up and said, I was fooled. These white people tricked me, man. JFK and LBJ tricked me and I felt for it. God damn, how could I be so stupid? How can I be so stupid? All right, I guess I'm just gonna have to just wake people up tonight. You know what I mean? Because the inconvenient truth, inconvenient truth. I'm about to. I got to tell y'all, and this is on purpose, y'all. The fact that they put Steven Jackson, y'all call him Stack 5. They thrusted him to the front because of who he is. They know he can be manipulated. Steven Jackson works for Showtime. But more importantly, Steven Jackson has 5 baby mamas. How the fuck can he lead us and he got 5 baby mamas? You know the type of man you got to be to have 5 baby mamas. You know the type of man you got to be to follow a man that has 5 baby mamas. You know the type of man you got to be to have 5 baby mamas, and the type of idiot man you got to be to put a man like this on a pedestal that has 5 baby mamas. In fucking sane. And they want you to follow him. They want you. Denzel Washington been married to the same woman. You never see him advertising. You never see him advertising his wife with her ass backwards. It's just amazing, man. It's just literally amazing that we sit here and we allow this to happen, to permeate through our through our through our minds, and call it the culture. Oh, this is the culture. This is what we're supposed to do. And now he gets credit for telling you not to do what he did. I told you guys, they have the high school dropouts and the former gang members and the guys that stand and sit in front of the what you call it, the liquor store, telling our kids that they can be anything. No. What we need to have is these black doctors, black lawyers, black electricians, or whoever else. Who gives a fuck what color they are? We need to have these successful men and women come to our schools and churches and inspire and encourage these young men and women. But instead, we value the drug dealers, the former pimps, the this, the that, everything else. And I don't know the timeline that needs to be had that causes that separation. But at the end of the day, if your child needs a man that's 1 foot in gangs, 1 foot in saving the community, if your child needs him to be inspired, you're failing as a parent. Period. End of discussion. You're failing. If you're taking a picture, if your baby mom is taking a picture with your daughter with their ass hanging out for all the world to see, you failed as a father. But this is why you got to live in the house. Even if you're not that man that you're yet, you're going to grow into it because you have to protect people. So as you grow, you're going to become a greater protector. Trust me on that. You're going to become a greater man. And then and then we quantify protecting by I own the guns. No, I quantify it by not putting the Hawthorns in that position. Don't put your family in that position where you got to pull a gun. But I know the smart asses are gonna say, well, you can't. No, but you can play the percentages like we all do. Every minute of our life, we're computing percentages. Well, if I stay up for 2 hours and then I go to work for 6 or 8, and then I'll have 3 hours to do what I want to do, well, if I take my lunch at 3:30, then I can watch the first half of the game, and then I can go pick the kids up, and I'll be home in time for the fourth quarter. No, no, no. The most unprotected woman is not the black man. That's an insult to black men. That's an insult to the man protecting them. You're so fucking stupid. The most unprotected person in the world is the person that doesn't have a husband. That's the most unprotected person in the world. That's a lie. Because that's a lie. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna have you beam in so people can see you. I'm not gonna respond to you again because um because I would love to see you foolishly shrink on this on my screen. No, that's a fraud. The most unprotected people are these bad bitches. These are the most unprotected people. The women that show their ass, the women that claim they independent. It's no longer color lines. It is a culture now. It is a culture of women that go and get these breast augmentations, that go and get their ass shot up. They get lip fillers. They get big eyelashes. They get hair transplants. They get colors. They get this. They can't wake up without a full face of makeup. They can't. So at the end of the day, these are the women that are the most unprotected. But the reason we hear that echoed so much because they got the most followers. You know why? Because they half naked. They half naked. And guess who they had a baby by? Steven Jackson. 5 baby mamas. Man, get the flying fuck out of here. 5 baby mamas. Man, that shit is insane. And let's think about this for a second. If you said in 19, let's say you had a 50-year-old uncle, right? Who's never been married, who didn't live at home with his kids and had 3 baby mamas. He would be a piece of shit to you, right? He wouldn't be trusted, right? He has minimum integrity, right? That's the same way you should feel about Shannon Sharp. He never lived in the house with his kids. Never lived in the house with his kids, man. But he speaks for us. Man, he don't speak for me. He don't speak for me. Lincoln and Kennedy just performed right before my very eyes. Right before our very eyes on most nights. You understand what I'm saying? And the reason why you got to legally do these things is so they're legally protected. Guess where your retirement goes? You know that retirement that you're paying into on your job that you've been through for 15 years and you accidentally get killed on the job, or you get in a car accident on the way home, or I'm just giving a hypotheticals, right? Or anything, you get shot at a liquor store or something like that. Your baby mom doesn't get the retirement you've been paying into for 15 years. They don't get your last paycheck. They don't get those bereavement benefits. It sounds good. I got a baby mom. I'm taking care of my kids, but nah, man, you got to legally protect your family. I'm gonna invite y'all in and we can have this conversation so y'all can come in and we can powwow. But at the end of the day, if you break up with anybody, you made a poor decision. You chose the wrong person. It's simple. It's simple. You know what I mean? I got 23 years of intel. The relationship has to evolve. You're not the same person at 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You guys are too afraid to have conversations. Stay together for the sake of the kids. No. You evolve. You're afraid to evolve. You're hiding lies. You're not telling the truth. You're whatever the case may be. You understand what I'm saying? So I stand on that. You know what I mean? You made the wrong decisions and you got to own them. And oh, we got Dion coming in. Go ahead, Dion.
What's going on? What's going on?
What's up?
Nothing, man. Just coming from Cleveland. It's bad. It's real bad.
What
Real.
happened?
Oh man, it started snowing real
Oh,
bad.
snowing. Oh, I'm thinking crime or some shit.
No, it started snowing real bad. People didn't know how to drive in the snow, and people trying to go around people end up in the ditch.
Damn.
I'm talking about it was snow like the Buffalo game. Snow. No, I just told them drives like 25, 20. We'll make it. It's gonna be longer.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we get home safe. And you know, I was so mad, man, off of that game, uh, the Warriors game. Man, they was all sitting right there, bro, in the bench looking at me, bro.
Warriors game. Oh, you went to the. Oh, you went to the
The
basketball
Cavs,
game. Oh, okay.
the
Now I.
Cavs Warriors, and they the whole starting lineup on the bench, bro.
Uh-huh. You had a good time.
Bro,
You took your kids.
huh? Nah, my kids was with their mom.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh,
So
you went.
man, went with the fellas. It was just sad. Just wasted that money for them seats, and the whole starting lineup is on the bench,
Well, at
and
least.
then we still lost to the third stringers. I was so mad, bro. Like y'all played down to y'all competition, and they out hustled you, and they won the game.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, we won yet the next game, and Giannis he sat out that one.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, crazy, man. But what you in here talking about tonight, Freddie, though?
Everything. Everything. I'm holding men accountable for their decisions. Um, we got Steven Jackson with 5 baby mamas, and he's the leader of the black community. Steven Jackson got 5. Oh man, who's the other guy? Shannon Sharp. You know, what I mean, I just think what he did was deplorable. You know, what I mean, Friday night. You know, what I mean, being a professional athlete, understanding he's called the mouth of the South, and he's challenging people to a fight. he's I think it's foolish, man. And he's supposed to be a leader, but he's never led a household. He's never been married. He's never led a household. You know what I mean? And these are the people that they thrust in front of us. You know what I mean? And like I say, it starts at the dinner table. It don't start on your TV. Family starts at the dinner table. So,
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah. I ain't even see that, man. I know I lost some money messing with LeBron and the Grizzlies,
Mhm.
but I ain't really see it, bro,
I got you.
because I was at the games and stuff, but I heard about it,
Mhm.
and you got to just accept accountability. Like I have 4 baby mamas, and I used to always hate them, and now they now they my friend and my ally. You know what I'm saying? I rather I rather not argue with you and understand co-parenting in a much better manner. You know what I'm saying? To where we're not even yelling. You don't get your point. You know what I'm saying? You take care of your business. I take care of mine, like I'm always supposed to. And you know what I'm saying? Those are the choices. You know what I'm saying? I had to deal with because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I have to take accountability. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? I have 4.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
and that's my accountability. Like that means I got to work 4 times harder,
Mm,
and that's just my mindset. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And it ain't about no. Yes, I would be like to uh have them at the dinner table and stuff, but only 2 of them get that. You know what I'm saying? Because of my decisions.
Hmm.
But I work harder to make sure, you know what I'm saying, we keep a close knit on everything. You know what I'm saying? So I give my kids on Christmas, and you know what I'm saying, and I give my daughter every summer. So it works out, you know what I'm saying, especially when we're not yelling at each other. It works out better, though. I can honestly say that, though.
It's still challenging. I'm asking. I don't know. Let me reframe that. Is it challenging?
Hell
Let's
yeah, it's
ask.
challenging.
Exactly. And
Hell yeah. I'm talking about it's my fault, though.
mhm.
I,
Yeah.
I have these conversations shooting pool with my dad all the time, you know what I'm saying? Just me chopping it up like, you know, he's like, these are decisions that you made, you know, you
Mhm.
got to own up to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And after certain situations, you start taking accountability. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna approach this different. Like, I ain't the bigger person. She ain't the bigger person, and we go form together
Mm,
instead of argue with each other.
mm.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I can sit back and just listen. Stuff that I didn't have time for to listen. You know what I'm saying? That's all they really want you to do is just listen.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But
Right.
just be, you
And,
know,
and let me ask you this for the people that will watch this. When you, I'm bringing you in right now, Miss T. When you look back on it, which baby mother should you have married? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Or can I ask you that?
oh, shoot. Which one should I have married?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, or 4.
The, shoot, I'll probably say the one that didn't, the one that died.
What number is that?
That would be number 2.
Number 2. Yeah, so you met your wife, number 2, right? Yeah, and that goes to our maturity. I don't know. I'm asking you. What I'm speaking as if I'm on the panel by myself. I apologize.
You are.
What what was what significant 2 or 3 changes you think you should have made, knowing that looking back at it, hindsight's 20, but you're speaking to these young men, but knowing that you should have made the change.
Oh, at that age, at that age, you know what I'm saying. I realized that you can't do both. You can't be in the street and then try to
Mm,
be at the crib. You know what I'm saying. You can't do both.
powerful.
You know what I'm saying because you by you being by you being in the street, you making your girl mad. She
Mhm,
thinking that you cheating and shit when you just taking care of shit. Keep her fly, you fly. You know what I'm saying? Keep your name up. You know what I'm saying? And then you still going to work, and
mhm,
these people giving you opportunity, and you just you just couldn't get out the street. You know what I'm saying? Because you try to think that you can do both, and you really couldn't.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? But that's what I would say. My mistake is I thought I could do both when I really didn't have to do nothing.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Because she was always solid. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you know what I'm saying that happened. You know, with my son and stuff. But that's why God built me different. He wanted me to go through everything that I wanted, everything that I was supposed to build me up to this level.
mhm,
Like I just had a nice weekend in Cleveland to where I went to 2 NBA games and
mm,
and stayed downtown, nice district.
mm,
Brother, sister came down, see me in the lobby.
mm,
You know, it was
mhm.
nice love.
Right.
You
And
know,
Miss T, can I ask one more question, Miss T?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Now, how many kids do you have? 4 or more?
4, yeah, 2
Okay.
girls, 2 girls and 2 boys.
Okay. Oh, God, like you. What at that family meeting, y'all 5 at the dinner table, how do you converse your story into wanting your kids to involve and get married? Do you tell them to? Do you give different set of rules for your boys and your girls, or is it the same, or do you tell them
No,
to get married?
I'm talking about it's just like this.
Mm-hmm,
I keep it 100 with my kids. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know how them 15-minute phone calls was.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? How impactful it was to both of us. You know what I'm saying? As long as I accept that and I tell you that I'm sorry for that, you know what I'm saying? But there's other ways that I was always taking care of you. You as a kid, you just was blinded to that. You know what I'm saying? And as my baby mothers, you know what I'm saying, understand stuff now, you know what I'm saying? They give me all due respect now because at the end of the day, I always looked out. No matter what we arguing about, I always looked out. So my kids is always tight knit, and I always told my girls, you go take care of your business. You ain't gonna need no man unless you go marry that man. My oldest daughter already married, graduated from college and everything. So my other daughter, she just turned 14. She
mm-hmm,
already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Your older sister already set the standard of what you supposed to do. Don't go out here believing anybody, because like I told you, you ain't got to never lie to me, and we can have these conversations. Once that golden ticket is given, you got to understand that you just gave somebody something. It's a golden ticket. You only get one time.
mm-hmm,
And if you need any questions, ask your sister. She got through it. I
mm-hmm,
ain't, and it was very hard on my mind thinking about my daughter being in college and thinking that, you know what I'm saying, like she might have distractions and stuff. No, but no, she was for tough and she took care of business, and like I said, she's married, bro, just chilling and living life now,
mm.
and
Married,
and
huh?
she's the oldest.
Wow,
So
daughter. Yes. So she set the tone. You
So
know.
yeah, so her brother's finally getting it right, you know what I'm saying? He the oldest, you know what I'm saying? It was just with him, it was just like hard with him because, he didn't have a mother, so he felt he felt like he felt like everything was supposed to be given to him, and
Mm,
he never had to work for nothing. And I'm trying to tell him like, bro, it's like different. It's like a different era, like whatever era you think, we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to earn everything, you know what I'm saying? And it builds your character up to where you go do this when I'm not around, bro.
mm,
You have to do it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, shoot, he 21 and he lived 2 streets down the street from me. He got a nice house,
mm-hmm,
taking care of his business.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I did the mistakes. They already know how them 15-minute phone calls, and guess what? I gotta do this for 4 people.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
Four individuals that I impacted tremendously.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't get that back. But when you get out, you gotta just take your time and just work harder. Like I tell people, just if you got 4, you gotta work 4 times harder. If you got 2, you got 2 times harder. Shoot, I would like to just work 2 times harder, but I gotta work 4 times harder.
Right, right,
And I
right.
ain't blaming nobody else.
Miss T.
Hey, good evening, you guys.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, Dion.
Good evening.
Um, well, Fred, in America, we got this social experiment still going on. I know today they don't emphasize it like they did when I was young. This melting pot idea.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a diverse group of people. So there's whatever I say, you guys, is no one size fit all, and I would venture to say that about any of us
Mm-hmm.
who has to add to the conversation.
Sure.
Fred, the one part I agree with you. You confuse me on some things, But let me tell you where I agree. A while ago, you used to say, we already identified the problem. Now let's just do the work. I'm paraphrasing, but you kind of remember that?
Yeah, sure. The problem being
Whatever the problem is.
okay.
In your home, raising
Yeah.
kids,
Right.
Whatever. But you identify the problem. So when you say the drug dealers or the pimps and all them and stuff raising, they have something to add to the fabric of raising kids too. You can learn something from them, but it's time and place. Like there's certain things that those individuals might can't teach me, or I might not use them as the go-to person. But it don't mean that they can't weigh in on the situation, because sometimes they can say something profound because of their boldness of how they live that somebody else won't hit it, get it to you in that way. And it all depends on how you receive things. Some people need that direct, straight to the chest, like boom. And some people can deal with the tiptoeing around and this, that, and the other. So when it comes to those kind of characters, that's what I like about them, because they get straight to the point. Boom, they say what they mean. Boom, boom, boom. But now would I try to emulate them? No, I would not try to emulate them. But it's some things just in life that they probably could teach me. And I'll leave it right there, so we can learn something from everybody, all walks of life.
It's called unwritten rules.
Yeah. So, but the only part that you confuse me a lot with, Fred, is when you talk about the conclusion of how kids will turn out. And I understand from your perspective and from your lens how you see it that way.
I was a teacher for 7 years. That's my data.
Right. But raising kids, my mom used to say, like when my older sister had her kid, and I logged in so much hours with him, you would think I thought that was my kid. And I used to be like, but I'm here all the time. And I have a little sister that was young when I was coming into adulthood. She was like a baby too. And I was like, spending all this time. So in my head, I had experience with raising kids. And then my mom would tell me, she said, it's one thing to keep kids and be in their life every day. I don't care how much time you log in. It's another thing to be a parent. And until I became a parent, I didn't get it, because I was like, I'm spending so much time. I'm doing everything a parent would do. I'm spending time, money, effort. I'm raising, I'm teaching, but it was a difference when I had to be the mom. And what I would say to anybody who's still raising kids, there you be scratching the surface. Like in your case, Fred, your kid's young enough where I would say you're not scratching the surface, like starting out, but you a little bit beyond starting out. But I'm telling you, how these kids turn out, you'll be surprised. And it's not to say that they're gonna turn out bad or good. I think no parent can predict, no matter what you put in your kid, how they gonna turn out. You just can hope. And it don't matter that the father is there. It is ideal. Don't get me wrong. You're right. It's ideal that the father is there every day. But sometimes it's got to be done despite whatever the circumstances is. That won't be the factor. It's the person. That kid, when they get about 12, it's going to change on the dime on you. And you're going to be like, who is this? And then you're going to go through your trials and tribulation, but you have laid down the foundation. Your kids probably more than likely will depart from your foundations. I'm not just yours, Fred. Everybody, kids. No, will depart from the foundation, but then they come back if you put that foundation in good. So that's the only thing that confused me when we talk about the conclusion of kids based on the environment that they get to have and all this stuff, because that thing is hit or miss. I don't think nobody could put their thumb on it. So that's what I was saying.
Yeah. And were you married and a man in the house?
Was I in my adult life? Yeah, I got married.
No, I'm talking about with your daughter.
Yeah. I was married when it's not her father, but I
Oh.
got married when she was really, really young. Like I think she was 3. I got married. A lot of good that did. Like he wasn't the right one. We was unevenly yoked. A lot of it, I blame me. I used to blame him because he was the one doing the things. But in the end, as I got older, I said, you know what? People can only do to you what you allow them to do. So I can't even think about what he per se did and just concentrate more on what I allowed. Because if I want something to change, I have to be the one who changes it. It doesn't matter what he want to do and what he did. It's what I allowed. And that's my focus has to be there.
Mhm. And before I bring in Zoe, I'll say I don't think drug dealers and pimps and gangbangers should be our primary source of information. I think the mother and father, pastors, aunties, uncles, grandparents, I think those needs to be the primary who sit at your dinner table. I think in a healthy family, there should be resources there. And it sounds beautiful to say, and I'm not outruling them. I'm not saying that they don't have a purpose. I'm talking about the foundation in which you speak of that you create, that we create as parents. I don't have a gangbanger in that foundation.
Right.
I don't consult with the gangbanger. I don't consult with a rapper or a celebrity, or I consult with another father. I consult with my spiritual advisor. I consult with Dre. I think when we get back to that, it will minimize the obligations that these people believe that they deserve in this society. I stand on that because I was a teacher for 7 years. So I was
Fred,
yes.
Let me ask you this. I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't want to forget. Do you think, as parents in America, all of us,
yes,
do you really believe you can stop that?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe you could play the percentage. Yeah. Stop it, like as in like
if I don't want, if I tell my kid I don't want them to curse. So I don't want them to talk about cursing at 5. I don't want them to talk about anything sexual, even if it's PG. But guess what? The minute she goes out my house, that shit gonna happen. Ain't nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm talking bigger picture. I'm talking about they don't grow up to be Jezebel. They don't grow up to be that gangbanger. They don't grow up to be that drug dealer. They don't grow up and go to jail. I'm talking big picture.
They could be.
I'm talking about. She probably just talking about like basically Fred, like you know what I'm saying about like basically kids gonna need to experience everything that you be pounding in their head for them to get it.
No, they don't need to experience everything. Kids don't need to experience everything.
I'm just saying it's just that
they will though.
They will not. No,
they will. Yeah, they will.
No, but listen to what I'm saying. The don'ts pull them to it. You know what I'm saying? The don'ts pull them to it. Like my son. You know what I'm saying? He the oldest, and I had to go through this so much with him because he was a knucklehead. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to tell him like,
and you wasn't. But you got to take into account. I'm talking about what we can control. Did you marry the mother?
What I couldn't control was I couldn't walk with him every day. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't walk with you every day, bro. I got to take care of my business. But at the end of the day, if you don't take care of your business, we're going to have a problem.
No, but what I'm saying is that foundation. So what I'm saying is this. Miss T, you said that you had a child with the wrong man, basically, right? Because
my daughter's father, we didn't get married.
Right. So and Dion, you say those 15-minute phone calls. How much time you do? Can I ask that?
I'm talking about
about an hour if you do 15.
It don't even matter.
Okay, but that's the point I'm making. See, we gotta control what we can control. And if
Y'all
wait,
both right again.
yes. So what I'm saying is, if Miss T didn't get a ring before she gave up her womb, do you understand what I'm saying?
But that wouldn't have mattered. That
No,
wouldn't have
it
mattered,
does
Fred.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
Because it does matter. Because if you would have gotten married,
And
then
to him,
listen, if you would have gotten married or not gotten married,
mhm.
then you would have learned the man. Then you would have understood or overstood. Man, Rashad's been waiting along. I'm gonna add him to the conversation.
I'm gonna just say, Fred, what we saying is, the minute they leave your eyesight, like when I had to have the sex talk with my children, it wasn't when I ideally planned to have it when they was, in middle school. It was because I better beat these little kids that's telling them bullshit, and I'd rather be the one to tell them. I had to be preemptive a lot of times, because when they come out of your eyesight, Fred, it ain't nothing you can do. You just hope that what you put in them sustain, and that don't all. And just because they dabble here and dabble there, that don't mean that they depart from what you put in them.
Right.
It's just people are people. We
human.
all try. You think of yourself. We all try this and that, and then we land where we're most comfortable. So you're not gonna be able to, stop a lot of stuff. And like I've had the babies, I've went through teenagehood, and now my children are grown. So I definitely can speak on a wide spectrum of cradle to grown up. And I'm gonna tell you, they do not come out like you think they do, and that's everybody. But it does not to say that don't mean that they come out bad.
No, I'm
Because
not.
my kids are great, but they ain't nothing like everything that I was trying to push and trying to implement.
It's just unhidden rules, and then at the end of the day, it's just like she said, and it goes back to what, like I said, y'all both right, but at the end of the day, stuff gonna happen.
Yeah, stuff's gonna happen, and we're gonna bring in Rashad. They've been waiting. Zoe, you next. Hang in there, bro. I know you've been going out. Go ahead, Rashid. Sorry about that.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? I mean, I got two baby mothers. I was married to the first one. We had 5 kids. It didn't work out. I made mistakes. She made mistakes. But I think in today's time, people go about having children is a very casual thing, but it's really a powerful thing. And it's just like people just bat an eye at it. And when you bring a child into the world, you all that child has. And I'm gonna piggyback on what Fred said. You gotta lace them with what's right, and you gotta just hope for the best. And I just think that, like you say, it started at home and it started at dinner table, but it's not a lot of families having dinners out here.
Oh, I was about to say how many. I was about to say how many people actually really sit at a dinner table. Like, that's kind of hard, but it's hard to even do that without having an argument. Because shoot, sometimes family be fighting family.
I mean that's true, but I still feel like breaking bread with the fam, even if y'all gonna argue, at least y'all arguing together, man.
Let me tell you this. I still ain't even got a Thanksgiving together yet.
Well, you got.
Oh man, you got to put that together, bro. That's on you.
Oh no, I'm talking no.
And just
because I already know what my grandma put in me, but at the end of the day, I only can extend my hand to the other sections of the family. Y'all choose to come, yay or nay. But I know this. I know what section's gonna be there. Like my brother, my dad, sister's gonna be there. Their family gonna be there all the time. So, but the door is always open. It just don't never walk through.
Right. Well, let me give y'all some encouragement. Okay. Next week is going to be a high intensity week for me, starting Sunday. My sister comes here Sunday, right? And her daughter, which is my niece, right? My nephew gets out of jail on Monday. He did 8 to 10 years. I don't know exactly how long he did, right?
Man,
They're coming to my house. My sister is staying with me. She's gonna stay in the back house, and they're gonna stay with me for. Well, he got to go Tuesday to a halfway house, so he's gonna sleep here Monday night.
so they don't say that. So they ain't been to the new spot.
No, they haven't been to the new spot. So what
Okay.
I'm saying, but I haven't seen my nephew in 8 to 10 years. So the point I'm making is this: you got to start somewhere. That conversation that I said about this conversation times 1,000 will be because I lived it. So I'm going to have this conversation with my sister about these fucking traumas and how we're passing this shit on to my mom, and how we're passing this on to generation, and it's not cool. My niece needs to get married. And we got to hold ourselves accountable as the parents and the aunties and uncles and the grandparents, and our lives as best we can needs to I wish I could record the conversation, but it's too personal to record. Okay.
No, let me ask you this though.
Yes, please.
What if you have these conversations and then they doing stuff behind your back where they say they ain't gonna do?
Live like that. I don't care about that. If they do it, they do it. But the point I want to make is somebody got to lead the family.
Exactly.
Somebody got to lead the family. My grandfather led the family, regardless of how his kids acted. He led the family, and I intend to do the same thing. And I genuinely believe that man and woman in the house, and they lead. Whoever it is your grandmother, your grandfather, hopefully it's your grandfather that's leading the family. But when he goes, somebody got to lead the family, and it has to be on integrity. It can't be on money, because guess what? Money's gonna die. Your rich uncle, your rich auntie's gonna die, and then the in-laws are gonna get the money, and it's gonna change, and this and that, or whatever the case may be, depending on how close the family is. But the point I want to make is integrity. I'm telling you, it lasts longer than anything. My grandfather died in 1995, and I talk about him every show that we've ever had on this show, whether I mention his name or not. He comes up in this show when I speak. So that's yes. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't know if you was.
Let me bring in Zoe, because Zoe.
I was gonna ask you, when you do talk to your niece, is your leading point gonna be or your emphasis gonna be to get married or to fix her? Her first, and like
her.
She needs to fix her.
She isn't the problem. She isn't the problem. It's the mindset of the family.
But that's just your leading point. Get married, and all will be well. I'm asking.
Yes, because when you get married, you choose the right person.
But how did divorce?
Well, yeah,
how did the divorce become? That's what I said.
Wrong person.
I'm talking about. I don't understand. I'm talking about. That's not my category of marriage and all that. But I'm just saying that's how the divorce word came, because it didn't work, right?
Well, that's on.
Well, if she's not fixed within, like you know what I think from a female perspective, why marriages, when we look back in hindsight, you know, insecurities, not y'all. It's when the female learn how to think about the role she played in something, that's when the learning happens or the change happens. So when I look back, I could say you had a lot of insecurities, Miss T, in your 20s that you ought not have had. And those insecurities made you make these type of decisions, wrong decisions. So if I could go back and do it again, I would want somebody to preach, get rid of insecurities, like stamp that out of me, rather than to say get married, because marriage is the ideal and it's going to come, but you need to be whole, because you need to be a whole person, bringing something to a whole person, or you gonna contaminate the whole union. That's
right, let me bring Zoe in. Let me bring Zoe in. Zoe been waiting. Thank you for waiting, Zoe. Thank you for coming back too. Go ahead, bro.
He
Oh, you
muted.
gotta unmute yourself, though. Hey,
What's going on with Fred?
hey, go ahead, dog.
I kind of wanted to tap in with a few things. I kind of wanted to let the sister keep talking because I kind of got like a whole different perspective.
Okay.
Because I'm not really a person that believes in the we ain't got no fathers doctrine, or that marriage is gonna turn a situation like this around. That's why I wanted her to finish. I kind of had a little bit to say. That's all.
Oh, sir, that's all I was saying. You want a whole person when you enter your union of marriage, because otherwise you're just gonna contaminate stuff. Like when I was insecure, it's like things that I would make decisions. I can't believe I did that. But I don't know. I think for me, I can't speak for every woman. What brought insecurities out of me is when I started popping out children. I mean, the position you be in when you're having kids, if you ain't embarrassed about that, then you can't be embarrassed about nothing else. And so insecurities left me, so I didn't hesitate on good decisions because I was insecure, or made bad decisions or made bad choices in men because of my insecurities. I didn't let men no longer tell me crippling words. Now, I'm not saying you can't be fooled, because I got married after that. I could be fooled because I trusted. So my crime was I trusted, but my crime was also I allowed. So that's another part that I had to evolve and learn and mature to. And now, like, if I were to get married, I think I would have a better go at it, because I know the part that I played in. Never mind what he did, and he did the ultimate. He did, like, to me, 90%, but that part that I played matters, and I should never do again. So I can be ready now and be evenly yoked and know how to pick somebody that's evenly yoked with me. But the marriage ain't gonna work just for the sake of getting married. Women are not that mediocre.
But we're not talking about getting married for the sake of getting married, because you got to check off all the boxes. And if we can check off all the boxes in a job application and on a military background, and we definitely should check off all the boxes when we're in pursuit of someone to procreate with. And I think it's on us. There's nobody that knows the healing process or knows what needs to be healed than the person. And as I tell every man, you are responsible for your own healing.
Okay.
It's no other way around. Who knows what's burning inside of you?
How you think Will Smith's feeling right now?
I don't care about Will Smith. I don't give a flying fuck. I don't know.
But he did the marriage thing.
But you got to do the work first. You got to do the work. If you don't do the work, it's going to expose itself. You're talking to, see, this is why. See, this is the perfect example why I say drug dealers, gangbangers, and pimps shouldn't, because they speak from a fear perspective.
No, that's his experience.
No, it's not. No. Because if you talk to a young child, a young 18-year-old, if you talk to a young 8-year-old and he's talking to someone that's been married for 50 years, and they're living happily ever after, they're going to have a completely different mindset on marriage. But if you're going into the conversation with the child, well, I don't know what's going to happen, it may not work. Nah, that's not what you go into, because you got to do the work. We didn't do the work. You didn't marry the woman you had kids with. Miss T didn't marry the man that she had her first child with. I believe you have multiple now. You said children, correct?
Well, yeah, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, we are responsible. We got to be accountable. That's the only answer. Accountability.
But we said all that accountability, but we saying the stuff that is bound to happen, Fred.
No, it's not
behind.
Happen.
I guarantee you, bro. I guarantee you, it's bound. Something bound to happen.
Not every. 66% of black men do not go to jail. 1 in 3 black men go to jail, have spent a night in jail.
So your sister married?
No, No,
So
that's the whole point.
that's what the whole point is. Listen what I'm saying. So the whole point of it is you go have that conversation with your sister and about your nephew that you ain't seen in a while, and then at the end of the day, you expect her to go out here and get married and it's gonna solve everything.
Talking about that's not. I'm talking. That's the example that I'm giving for the sake of this conversation.
You know,
I'm talking big picture. You guys are just staying within yourself.
No, Fred.
No, you are because you said no, Miss T. Listen. Okay. You're telling the whole world that marriage may not be the key. Marriage may not work. No, because
if you're not ready.
But listen, what I'm saying is you gotta do the work the same way you do to go to college. The same way you did to stay in the military, the same way you did to survive in prison, the same way you do to survive and get elevated and promoted at work, because you did the work. We got to get back to doing the work.
Now, where does the work start, Fred? That's what I'm trying to get you to see.
With you. I don't know.
With you, when you come from, when you come out your mom's and dad's house, the work begins with you as an individual, whether you're a male or female.
It starts
and you and yeah, okay, but like I'm talking about you as an adult. When you leave your parents' house, it starts with you as a male or female. It don't matter. You gonna have to get you ready. Sometimes you may want a husband, but you ain't wifey material, or you might want a wife, but you not husband material. So that means you got to do the work. It is ideal. I'm with you on that. And once you do get married, you have to do the work, and it starts with respect. If you don't respect your spouse, I'm sorry, Zoe. I'll yield to you, Zoe. Go ahead.
We waiting on you. Go ahead, Zoe.
Well, not to cut her off. I want to add, and this is my thing about the marriage and the fathers and all that type of stuff. Because Fred, you had dropped a little diss at my boy Elijah Muhammad and stuff like that. But I feel like this: at the end of the day, a lot of us, it's a good percentage of us that's all we really gonna get is baby mamas and baby daddies. I look at it like, if I look at my situation, or I look at my generation as a whole, it was when you don't have a set culture, like a lot of us was sent out in relationships where we had to just figure it out. Okay, you got grown, and you don't have a set boundary, culture, norm. We don't have it as a people when it comes to our knowledge of procreation and domestic relationships, right? So you have to go out now and figure it out. And at 36 years old, I had met a woman I had been dealing with for a long time, 14, 15 years. And she told me one thing that I didn't even know. And I learned at 37 that at the end of the day, you have to be vulnerable with a person. How do you expect a relationship to work when you don't want to be vulnerable with them? And I'm like, dang, I done went through my whole life, don't want to be vulnerable with a person. So it's like at the end of the day, if you haven't been taught something, and if you don't have a set standard, a set foundation, cultural, moral, a certain thing where you've been passed down a culture that works when it comes to our domestic relationships, it's just confusion, because everybody's trying to figure it out on the job. Everybody's trying to figure it out, and it might take you years to figure out certain stuff where you done been through this woman with a baby in a relationship. And I look at it like, at the end of the day, the woman that was in my life, to a certain degree, wasn't marriage material, and to a certain degree they weren't marriage material. And I can't say I would still be with these people, because we were trying to figure it out as we went along. And if you go and you deal with people and pick up bad habits and all that type of stuff. So I just think that, like, the marriage thing, you have to crawl before you walk. We have to get to the root cause of our confusion. And I just don't think that, to me, the father's argument about having fathers in the home and this type of stuff, fathers ain't gonna get us about the condition that we in. Fathers ain't gonna do that. When you have a community that has just went reprobate and just is filled with evil top to bottom, fathers ain't gonna do nothing. That's why when the boomers, we really was hitting snags as a family in a silent generation, but the boomers, it bust wide open with their relationship. They had their fathers, and all that stuff at the end of the day failed. All the domestic and the family all still failed. So it got to be something deeper than saying, well, listen, you know, we've been a couple generations without that, so let's try to get that. But no, it's this is something deeper than that. That's why I said with the Stephen Jackson, all these people, this black celebrity that's up there. A lot of times it's like, you know, marriage is not. I just don't. Marriage is just not gonna. It's not the key to it. If your relation is if your very relationship, if the very way you look at the women of your group of people or the men of your group of people is all perverse and messed up, putting a ring on something is not gonna change a situation like this. You know what I mean? Because there's so many people that are confused, are led astray, and they're what they think of their domestic customs is completely skewed and false. You know what I mean? So you know, so we have to be, when you talk about that room in the House of Black America, so to speak, that room is going to have to be, all the walls is going to have to be gutted, the floor is going to have to be ripped up, all the piping, the electric, everything going to have to be ripped out of that and completely built from the foundation up. You just can't try to put and say and try to promote marriage and all this type of stuff when these people is like, you know, they don't even. You know what I'm saying? Like if I had to learn at 36 years old that for a relationship to work, to be vulnerable, that's something that, again, is something with the foundation. We need to set in certain set customs and certain things that we are taught from children and raised up to have successful unions. You know what I'm saying? So I just think like that's something that we kind of gonna have to move on from. You know what I mean? Because, and you know, you dropped a little disc, because I want to say that, go back a little bit about that disc you dropped to Elijah Muhammad, when, again, you know, the people that try to bring us this knowledge, because you talked about Malcolm, but Malcolm said that we were a blind, deaf, and dumb, led astray people when we had our fathers, right? So the people that tried to bring this information, at the end of the day, if you don't do for self, everything about your culture and everything about you is going to start to fail, and it's only going to be doom and crumble. But then the person that told you that 50, 60 years before it happened, you don't want to listen. Then what if that really leave you? That's why, I mean, Fred, you be dropping, and like I said, we done had this conversation before. You be dropping these disses, but the man that told you that your family was headed for destruction, your institutions, your HBCUs that you just, you know, you started off on, headed for destruction. Everything about your work is going to crumble, and it only means doom for you. You need to do this X, Y, and Z. You're gonna be rebellious too. So where does that leave you? You know that's why I said, if this situation here is just what it is, you know what I'm saying? Either you're gonna do for self, or you're gonna suffer the consequences. You're gonna design a religion, a moral foundation, a domestic norm and procreation culture, institutions, economics, or all this gonna be something that's gonna be a big old mess in the future, in the coming generations, and we here with that. So that's all I wanted to say, though, Fred. You know, I think you know I mess with you, Fred.
Oh, I don't mind. I don't mind. Let me bring in Big O, and then we'll circle back around. Hang in there, Anthony. Go ahead, Big O. Speaking of,
hey, salute to the panel.
Go ahead, dog.
Yeah, salute to the panel. I just you know what I'm saying, this is an interesting conversation. And I more so agree with along the lines of what Fred is saying, that marriage being a foundational institution, you know what I'm saying, for a family. Because I would believe that you would have to identify and define what a family is. And generally, you define that as husband, wife, children, you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. And when you go outside the confines of that, you typically have a lot of chaos. And I have witnessed what family can do, and not just saying just the husband in the house, because back in the I guess decades ago, you could say that we had more of community building. You know what I'm saying? We had a whole lot of people in our community that had husband, wife. You had grandparents, husband, wife. You know what I'm saying? Aunties and uncles, husband, wife. So you saw all of these things all the way around the board. And now, what do you have? Without husband and wife, you have a lot of casual sex. You have baby mamas and baby fathers everywhere. You have unruly children all over the place. You didn't have that like that back decades ago. And the direct result of that is you know what I'm saying, not having fathers in the household and people not being responsible for what for their actions. And also, I would just like to ask a question because you guys said a couple of you have said that um, you have went through a lifetime of learning. You really didn't know how to do this or do that when it comes to raising your children. So since you've had a lifetime of going through and learning and figuring out mistakes and this and that, what would be the based off your own experiences, what would be the advice that you would give since you were saying not marriage?
I don't think nobody is saying not marriage because Fred is right. When you are married, you have to work at it. If you're not working at it every day, then you're doing it wrong. But first and foremost, you're going to have to learn respect, and respect starting with yourself for any and everything in life, I believe. So if I'm married to somebody, if it's my job as a woman to make sure I just check that box and get married, but I don't have respect for my spouse, what would make me not have respect for him? Because little do a lot of men know, we know when y'all don't respect us. A lot of women just, chuck it up or hide it or don't say nothing. And a lot of men walk around comfortable thinking that they really doing the damn thing. But a wife is like, she weighing her options, and men too, vice versa. But I'm speaking from a female point of view. We're weighing our options, and we was like, is it worth just leaving? Or, got these kids, we got this house payment. It's easier while we married. But if the man don't respect you, and there's so many ways he can show that he don't respect you, trust me, she ain't gonna respect you. She might not do everything you do. She may do things you do and worse. That's not the point. But the point is she won't respect you. So you might have a marriage on paper, but you got a front row seat to some bullshit. So how is that helping anybody to be involved with somebody because that respect gonna later turn to hate. You're gonna hate them later the longer you be around them once the respect goes. So I always say put the emphasis on the individual to be the best version of them. Then add in marriage. I don't care if you male or female. I would tell my son, be your best you before you trying to go be somebody's husband and daddy. Be your best you. And I would tell my daughter the same thing. And hopefully that will sustain them. And if you wake up every day saying, how can I show my spouse how much I love and respect them? And then you actually do things to show that, you can have a long marriage.
And to piggyback off of that is it goes back to it's their choice. You know what I'm saying? It's their choice. Even though you know what I'm saying, you didn't already put it down for them. It's still gonna be their choice at the end of the day. Especially when they're grown. It's gonna be their choice. And luckily my daughter chose right, and like I told her, this is what's gonna happen on this side of life. This is what's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. And like she said, I don't ever want to be on that side of life ever again. And I'm like, see, that's what you got to deal with. You go deal with bullshit. But as long as you take your time and you make your decision and you keep on taking care of your business and you can play later. And she did that, bro. Like, because I sure didn't give her an example of no marriage. She got 3 other siblings that, you know what I'm saying, when that day happened to me, she got to reach out and make sure everybody cool. You know? So it is successful, though, but I understand the model. I'm just saying, like, it is possible because marriages they go to court, then they get divorced, and Will Smith and all the marriages, bro. Sometimes it just don't work. They just do it for publicity. Sometimes it does work, but like my brother said, we in the new generation of it just don't exist like that no more because of the way the world is.
Well, to rebuttal that, I think that you can't make decisions out of fear. I mean, and we're subscribing to this marketist notion that a marriage is a happy thing. It's like, friends, it's work. And if you want to be successful in life, usually people that are successful are married. And you want to pass that down to your jits because, we and especially in our community, playing house is accepted and it's cool. And baby mama and baby daddy culture is toxic. Back in the day, a thing like shame used to go a long way, but you could do whatever. You could have four baby daddies, four baby mamas, and it's okay. And it's really like it's very hedonistic. And it's just like, where's the control? Where's the buffer? Where, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's levels to it's.
Just to build on what you were saying right there.
Here's another one. Here's another one example. Most pastors ain't married themselves.
I can't speak for pastor, but
I'm just saying there's another example. It might not work.
I'm just saying you feeding it to the propaganda, man. Like,
no, I'm not feeding it into it. I'm being realistic and saying that what things will happen.
I understand it, but being realistic, man,
gotta be
the incentives to being married outweighs the incentives to not being married or getting divorced.
Thanks. Hey, but I would like to
go ahead.
But you can't.
No, I was just gonna build on what you were saying about the aspect of the shaming aspect, because like you hit the nail on the head with that. Certain things in our culture today, which was frowned upon, you know what I'm saying, by the community as a whole, as a wide, you know what I'm saying. We don't see those things so much today.
Exactly. You had babies out of wedlock. You had to leave. You had to go down south.
They wanted to hide you.
But listen, you'll be
you
here
not about
all
to
day,
bring shame to this family.
But you'll be here all day trying to figure out where to start to fix that problem. You can't put it at the men's feet. You can't put it at the women's feet.
Absolutely. It's not about
Napoleon. Hold on. Richard Napoleon, that's incorrect. This is the statement he just made. Y'all read that. Women respect men out off of what they can provide or how much money they make. Right there, you know what I'm going to say as a woman? That man thinks women are mediocre. Just by that statement. And I'm not mediocre. I don't think of myself as mediocre, but I know he thinks I am because he made a declarative statement for all women. I don't think men are mediocre. I could say men only like women who got big asses. How mediocre is that? To say that about to generally speak about men like that. But what would you think if I said that? And see, that's what I mean. Once we see that there's no respect, there's no incentive for me to give it and to go along with your ideas. Because I know it's a front row seat to some BS. So now I'm in survival mode. Marriage is great. It's ideal. We should all ascribe to it. But you have to be ready. That's all I say. Mentally, you have to be ready.
I'm bringing Anthony. Oh, go ahead.
The work that Fred talking about you got to do, your mental got to be right. Can you agree with me with that, Fred?
Well, you got to do the work, but you got to be willing though. And the only way you're willing is if you commit to that from the beginning. Like, not the only way, but maybe you commit along the way, but you got to commit. But we're not doing the checks before. Like, I'm not giving a woman a baby if she can't be with me forever. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Anthony. Go ahead, dog. Anthony, you muted. You're muted, Anthony. Oh, he gone. He stepped away.
But yeah, I'm not gonna get married though.
Hey, let me say, like, it's certain things that were put in society that help cause the decay of our community as well. Some of those things being like birth control and abortion, you know what I'm saying? Because what those things, and you know what I'm saying, certain governmental assistance programs. Because if you did not have, if women did not have the ability to get Section 8 and food stamps at the rate that we have today, I guarantee you there would be a lot more marriages, 100%. Um, if you did not have, I believe it would be, because you would not
Big
be able,
facts.
you would not be able to take care of those children by yourself, without that government help. That's I guarantee you that. If you did not have this abortion and the birth control, casual sex would not be going on as rapid. See, we had things were put into place for bad behaviors, and we want to continue in these bad behaviors. So we shug off. You know what I'm saying? The killing of a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a big deal in today's society. You know what I'm saying? So I think those things, certain things put into society, help perpetrate certain bad behaviors that people do.
As far as aid that you get from the government,
I got you, Anthony.
you know what's crazy? I know more men today, and have been in the last decade or so, that's on aid from the government, food stamps, welfare, whatever you want to call it, SSBI, than I know any woman.
And they came from single mothers, I'm sure.
Huh?
I'm sure they came from single mothers.
What that got to do with it?
That's anecdotal at best.
What that got to do with it?
Women getting it all. Food stamps, Section 8.
Men are getting it all. I can say that. Let's be real. I can
but
say
men not breaking up their home to get it.
Men are breaking up their home to get it. You cannot go down this pathway of putting it at the feet of men or women. You'll be here all day. You cannot say that. You can say, but for women doing this, that, and the other, we wouldn't have this problem. But I can say, but for men doing this, that, and the other, I would not have this problem. Like,
hey, look, it's a way to test that. All you have to do is go down to the welfare office and see who you see in there. That's an easy. You don't see majority women. 100%. You don't see majority women. You go there for a whole week, and you don't see all women in there.
Dude, that they could be there for other reasons too. It's more men that I know, and I'm gonna tell you, I grew up on welfare. It's more men getting welfare, Medicaid, motherfucking SSBI. That's the one right there, the SSBI, because half of them never even put in on SSBI. I just be looking like, what the fuck? It's more men on disability and all this stuff. You have to put in on that. That's not a social program. You put in on that. So
we're talking.
You know,
I understand it, but we talk about benefits that come from having a child with a man.
You don't get no benefits. Do y'all know what that shit is?
You have, as a woman, you have a child. You're gonna get fed. You're gonna get housed.
You don't get what you. It ain't like you think it is. It ain't like you need to get Fred. You probably need a panel full of women so they can break down and tell you exactly how that shit work. And then y'all tell me if women running to go get that shit. It's good for the interim. Ain't no woman.
Why you think it's a shortage on crab legs? Why you think it's a shortage on crab legs?
What does that mean?
Because the women getting all the food stamps, buying them up with food stamps.
That's funny to you, right?
It is funny.
So women are mediocre. That's how I take
that.
Some
women are mediocre.
When you mediocre saying that don't make sense.
Man, man, you gotta take both sides accountable, man, or you're
it's both sides accountable, but
I'm talking about you. But one side can't speak louder than the other because one side will speak louder for the other. I'm just saying,
a woman is very important to this earth. The woman is the first school. It's the first school. That womb is the first school. And everybody that ever came on this earth came through a womb and was in a school of a woman in her stomach.
Okay.
So what the woman take in, the child is taking in.
Mm-hmm.
It's
But
not to diminish women in
It's not
any
to diminish. It's
But
not
you
to
just
diminish
got
but
to
women. It's
think.
just saying
when a
y'all
point
dropping the ball.
when a point gets pointed out, you can't all of a sudden say, "Well, men too." No,
But you
we
trying
have
to
yes,
to
I
be.
say
But
about
can.
you trying to
Yes, I
be.
we
can.
But
have to
you
say
try.
Fred, I
accountability.
see you over there laughing.
But you got to take accountability though.
Yes.
But you can't. You just can't just say
Fred,
one
this
side.
shit
It's gonna be
started.
one sided, or you lying to yourself.
Exactly. Look, it's both sides. It's like I said, we'll be here all day trying to point the finger. So it's no need. Like Fred said, you see a problem, you fix the problem. You know what I do? I choose to be a mentor when I can. When I see little kids doing things, or if I feel like I need to tell a little girl something, I'm gonna go tell her. If I think I need to tell a little boy something, I'm gonna tell him. Just like that pimp and drug dealer want to make the videos and those rappers want to make the videos and spew their garbage. I'm gonna go spew my garbage, and mine's gonna be, more so on the positive side, like trying to tell them something that's gonna help them in the long run. You can't just keep talking about what the problem is. Go fix the problem. And I'm telling you, if you want to call it raping the system, even I don't even call it raping the system, but some people describe it that way. I know more men getting government help in some form of fashion than I have ever known in my life. And yes, when I was growing up in the 70s, hey, women got welfare, Medicaid, food stamps, all that. Now, if you want to say, why did we did it? Because if we didn't, we wouldn't eat. We wouldn't have nowhere to live. Why don't we have nowhere to live? And let me tell y'all, if you a king or a queen, whenever you're in a form of leadership, leaders don't bend down and blame people. Leaders take accountability. Attitude reflect leadership. So if you're the king, be the king. Stop bending down, looking back to point the finger. It's just like what I say I had to learn. Somebody told me that. A man told me that. Think about the role you play. Stop telling me what this man did to you. Think about the role you play. I didn't want to hear that shit. But eventually I embraced it. And I was like, one of y'all saying y'all mid-30s. That's how old I was. In my mid-30s. And I was like, yeah, it's me. It's me. Even though I didn't do nothing, but I allowed everything. So it's me.
All right, let me bring in Anthony. Anthony's been waiting. I got the truth coming up next. Go ahead, Anthony.
Hey, what's going on, Fred? What's going on, panel?
What's up?
Can you hear me?
Very well.
I sound good. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad this kind of came up because I asked you, Fred. I guess it was a week ago. You said that marriage was something like God's protection or something like that. Something like that. You said about marriage, and I wanted to know what you meant by that. I guess I kind of can tell what you meant by that based on some of the statements tonight. While marriage is good, and it's good it's especially good if you can't sustain, you can't be abstinent or anything like that. But because that's how it goes based on the moral standards that's given by the Most High. But in all, if you don't have the correct moral standards, I mean, marriage might not work for most people, because it's an out. You have a way out when it comes down to marriage, and when it's something that's between you, the woman, the man, woman, and the state. So, a lot of times you can see it now. Men are complaining because women are, walking away with half, or they're having to pay spousal support or alimony and things like that. The woman's getting the house and the kids because it's like the kids belong to the woman. And so it's a lot of different things that go on that can make it where, it doesn't work for everyone. And it's really just because of the moral standard that the people have even before they go into the marriage. And I just think once you know, once you establish a foundation for yourself, based on on some characteristic thing, like I keep saying a moral standard, then I think that now you have a firm foundation as far as to how to make your marriage work. You know what I'm saying? Because it is work. It's not something that's easy because it involves you and another person. So and in today's society, with how most people teach or are taught about marriage, it's not like in most cases it won't really last. You know what I'm saying? Because most people are marrying for a lot of the wrong reasons. I mean, you got a lot of people, they just want to marry somebody because they look good, they sexy. Then you got people that want to marry someone because they have money. But when you look at those type of things, or because they had a child. So when you look at those type of things, and there's no real commitment to a standard, and I keep trying to leave the whole most high thing out of it, because I know a lot of people, that's just not something that a lot of people listen to, but that's what it really comes down to, man. I mean, you just can't leave that out. If you go by what society is teaching you and what they're showing you, then you are setting yourself up for failure in most cases when it comes to marriage. And, I just think when you say that marriage is a protection by God, I can't wholeheartedly agree with that, because when Paul discussed it, he said that it's best not to marry, so that you can focus just on God. But if you cannot be abstinent, then it's best to marry, better versus to burn. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you. Let me bring in the truth, and then we'll go around. Then we'll get the hell out of here. Go ahead, Truth.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you so much for having me up. I really appreciate it.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
New voice. I wasn't expecting a woman. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, the reason I decided to come up is because not the previous guy that was just speaking, but the guy before him that was just speaking. There was a woman and a man speaking, and the woman, I salute her 100% wholeheartedly. But that man that was speaking, it sounded to me as if he was playing the blame game. If it wasn't for this, we wouldn't do that. If it wasn't, it's because of this, we doing that. And see, one thing we forget to mention in our communities is these dark secrets that take place inside the households. That's what mess us up. These dark secrets that takes place inside our households, and then we go out and we can't really cope. We can't really function in society because we hurting because of something that happened to us from last night. Lots of dark secrets in these families. We can't blame the men, and we can't blame the women without blaming one another. You got these children that are out here shooting people in Chicago and robbing people all throughout the night. These children are products of what I call pedophile behavior. We forgetting about these little dark secrets that takes place within these families. These little kids don't know how to go out and get guns. Somebody is giving them guns. Adults. That's the most important thing within our community. Forget what the government is doing. Forget all of that old food stamps. That stuff ain't even important. I'm grateful for them. That is not important. What's important is what's disturbing us mentally. And what's disturbing us mentally are these dark secrets that's taking place inside of these households. That's the most important thing that's going on right now. The most important thing. How do you expect a little girl to be able to go to school and focus on what the teacher is talking about when somebody didn't just touch her? And the mama so in love with the man, she gonna call a little girl a lie. Everybody in the family gonna pretend like they don't see it. How do you expect a little girl like that to be productive in life? We need our example. If we expect goody boys, we got grown men feeding little kids guns and having them selling drugs. How do you expect these little boys to be productive in life? How? That's what we need to be focused on, because food stamps ain't never hurt me. The government ain't never, ever tried to shoot at me. The white man ain't never, ever, ever did me dirty. Call me names, touch me. That's that stuff that goes on inside these houses that people do not want to talk about. All the rest of this stuff, it's a complete waste of time. What's important is the mental state of our children. Yeah. And I'm not going to be all right if I know some old man didn't touch me.
The truth. Let me ask you, do you think those statistics fall off greatly or minimum if the two biological parents are present in the child's life?
I feel like it fall off greatly. I feel like if both the biological parents, and I'm talking about bio parents.
Yeah, bio, yes.
If they were there in the child's life, that erases a whole lot of fear. The child feels more protected. The child is more covered. The child is more stable. The child can actually go to school the next day and figure out what the teacher is talking about.
But do you think that it prevents it?
I don't understand what you're saying. Do two parents prevent what?
Prevent the pedophilia that could go on in the house by there being two parents in the house. Because a lot of times pedophilia, to me, seems like it manifests itself when that pedophilia person feel like he could get away with it. He's not scared.
The only time the pedophile person, he's not gonna touch a little girl if her father right there.
So you think.
You know, it depends on the father. You got fathers that are very protective.
I think statistically, Miss T, I would lean on the macro that it would fall off. The percentages would fall off. I don't know what.
No, I agree. I agree, because you know what? My neighbor was throwing out his shoes. I'm single right now, and he got a size 14, right? And it was nice shoes. He had got a factory job. Decided that he ain't want to work no factory job, so he was getting rid of those steel toe boots. And I saw him taking them to the dumpster, and I said, "Hey, where you going with those?" Now I can't fit them shits, but he said, "I'm gonna throw them away because I'll never wear them again." I said, "Bring them here." You know what I did? I set them at the front of my door,
so somebody can get them, right?
No, like inside my door. So when I open the door, and people will try to solicit.
That's good
see them size
14s. That's true.
And I put a big can of Schlitz 45 Coke 45 Billy D. Williams shit in my refrigerator. I know I don't drink that. Anybody who know me know I don't drink. But you gonna be like, what nigga up in here drinking this much? Mm-hmm.
So marriage does work. So we've come to the conclusion.
But nobody said that it don't work, Fred. Nobody said it don't work. What we're saying is, I asked you specifically, Fred, are you leading with, hey, little girl, grow up and just get married? Or are you leading with, fix you? Because as the truth say, a lot of women coming out their household damaged. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know how old the truth is, but everybody in my age group, I don't know a woman who ain't been touched. Not one.
Ma'am, I'm 47 years old.
I'm 51.
God is my witness. I fight like a man right now today, and I don't lose. I don't lose. When I tell you I fight like a man. I've been fighting old men off me my whole life from 63rd and Cottage Grove in Chicago. I don't play no games. Even my daughters fight. We fight.
Mm-hmm.
We fight, and it's by any means necessary movement.
Girl, it's to the death, right?
It's to the death.
Death.
It's to the death, and that's an issue.
But if the men had more covering, you understand what I'm saying? If there was men in place the presence of a man prevents it, because no man wants to get into a confrontation. They want to choose the
path of least resistance.
The path, thank you, the path of least resistance. They don't want to fight through me to get to an 8-year-old girl, 8-year-old boy. That's why I said so. The generational solution, man and woman.
Yeah, but it works, Fred, but not all the way. Like my mama had. Let me tell you this. My mama had a man in the house, and that was her boyfriend. And he was a young scrapping buck. Like, looking back, I don't think nobody wanted to try him. But my mama's sister had a husband, and this dude was a pervert. Even before I knew what a pervert was, Fred. Mm-hmm. I'd be like 7 and 8. This man at Christmas parties, he's adjusting my pants and my sister's, tucking our shirt in. And we like, what the fuck? But we grew up in a generation, we didn't say nothing derogatory or smart to adults. But I would look at my mom, because he'll be like, when y'all gonna come, when you gonna let the girls come for the summer? I look at my mom and be like, girl, you better say never. Mm-hmm. And my mama was like, never, because she experienced it too. Her siblings are like 30-something years older than her, so she knew how he was when she was a little girl. And I was like, phew. But like I said, Fred, when they leave your eyesight, you can't protect them from everything.
No, you can't protect them from everything. Yes. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wanted to say that when you talk about is marriage, does it work or whatever, should you be telling your daughter that? Most definitely. If you have, and marriage, as far as kids go, it should come, with a marriage. You know what I'm saying? That's the proper way to do it. So, and Fred having a daughter, me having a daughter, we're that daughter's protector. We're the covers of our daughters, and we should be helping our daughters to choose a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't just be on our daughter to go out there and make a mistake, because they're young, and we know better. We know what a man should look like, as far as them coming correct. And I would say that while we understand what some of the challenges or things that Miss T has gone through, that Miss T, you should recognize that, yes, as a man or as a mother or father, you should definitely, if you have a daughter, you should definitely be trying to help her to choose correctly. And if she wants to have a family, then yes, she should be married first.
She has my daughter has a good fiance. She's gonna get married, and she did everything right. And I'm gonna say right, ideal situation. My daughter's grown, but I would tell you this: she will never pick nobody I choose. I would have never picked nobody my mom choose or dad, and that's just how young women are. You can't choose for me. What you tell them is teach them respect and realistically, tell them about things. Like, I teach her to respect herself and what her power is in the world and what her value is in the world. So once she's armed with that, nobody can take that away from her. You know what I'm saying? And that is what I chose to emphasize. I'm not saying it's the right way. It's just one of many ways. But that's what I sent her in the world with. Respect yourself, respect others until they show you they don't need your respect. But you always respect yourself and put you first in a little way. You got to be selfish a little way, and that's what she does. And she put value in herself. And so when you carry yourself as a woman like you have value, men will see that too. And they will appreciate you. I don't know.
Hey, Rashid, you want to give your closing remarks? We'll go around since you're.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said before, I believe that marriage is the key because it teaches the children how the man supposed to treat the woman, how the woman supposed to treat the man, and it's been working for thousands of years, and it ain't broke. And I just leave y'all with that.
Thank you, dog. I appreciate you. Dion, what you got, dog?
Oh man, this was a deep conversation.
I loved it. I want to do a part 2 tomorrow.
That's a deep conversation, bro. Like I said, I had to put turn my mic off for people won't interrupt. But deep conversation. But like I said, I already proved my point that things happen, and it's just marriage is just a choice, and like it goes back to it proves Fred's point that you do have to put the work in. Just because you're married don't mean what I'm saying everything will be peaches and cream. You have to work on your marriage every day. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want that part of where I proved the point of divorce to happen. Because look at the marriages out there now. That how many women that's married, but their husband be on the road all the time, but then she got a significant other, but she's still married. But that's her choice to carry on like that, even though you dishonoring everything that you married the first time. So it's just a choice. Like, I'm not getting married. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I understand my place. I understand my whole thing is to lead my family into the right areas. And so far I did that. I'm 2 of 4 and I got 2 more to go. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's just lean back, but definitely love the conversation. Definitely love everybody's input. And like I said, Fred, you right. And you know what I'm saying? I just wanted you to understand the honest word of divorce and things that happen, and it's just called unwritten rules. You know what I'm saying? It's just rules that's not written down. You just got to learn them as you go. Plain and simple.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Anthony, what you got, dog?
Yeah. I would just say, based on the totality of the conversation, that marriage is good. Marriage should come before children come, and with today in today's society, it's just that we just don't really have a moral standard. I mean, I'm victim of it myself, so because and what they were trying to tell you is exactly this: is that you can teach the child, you can show them all the things that they need to know, but when they get out there and they start growing older and they get out there, man, and they're around their peers, those peers have a lot of influence as well, so things can happen and somebody can stray from what you're teaching them at home. Even though you set a foundation and everything for them, they can stray, and things can happen. You know what I'm saying? So, and you should not look at yourself and say that you failed. I think we kind of went over this before too, that you failed because someone did fall, to the forces that are around them, that they run into in all these other places that they're going to go to, outside of your house, so that's all I would say, man, but
thank you, dog.
Good conversation, dog.
No, I appreciate you. Thanks for always coming through. The truth, what you got?
Well, in closing, I just want to add that we really need to stress education amongst our younger women and older women. We got too many young ladies who have to drop out of school and raise little boys. And they not raising little boys to respect, women, and they not raising little boys to marry women and father one child. And, so we got to keep our young ladies lifted. we got to, just so that they can start going in a more positive direction as they grow older, so that they can grow in grace. If we can kind of attack this school dropout rate, we'll have a little bit more common sense. We won't be so quick to do any and everything,
Right.
if I may add. But thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you. And please come back. Zoe, what's up? Thank you. The truth. Thank you for coming through. Go ahead, Zoe. What you got?
Nothing much, man. Hey, you should have a part 2 for this show.
Yeah, we need to have a part.
And
we definitely should.
But no, like I say, man, I wanted to say that, yeah, man, I think that, a lot of things is going on now. We really gonna like have to just hit rock bottom, for us to really be faced with the true equivalent of our culture and our behavior, so we can have a true look in the mirror. You know what I mean? And a lot of things about our moral foundation and domestic norms and culture, this really gonna have to be rebuilt at the foundation. You know what I mean? It's just like I said, I just mirrors just ain't gonna turn a situation like this around. But like I said, if you have a part 2, I wanted to drop a couple more things, but I just feel like you're gonna have to have major changes. Really major changes. So that's all I wanted to say.
No, thank you. Thank you, Zoe. And last but not least, appreciate you. I'm gonna drop you out. Appreciate you, everybody that was on the panel, man. I genuinely appreciate y'all, because I don't like this being an echo chamber of just me. But go ahead, Miss T. Oh, that was bars. I run.
Hey, Fred, good show.
It was a good show.
It was an excellent show, and things like these are very productive. We live in a melting pot, y'all. Let's not forget that. That means a diverse country, different cultures, different, traditions, and all this social backgrounds. And so we need to learn how to fit in, or at least blend with all of them, and be ready. I would say, as parents, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be surprised. All you can do is lay the foundation. That's your job. Lay the foundation. Don't be surprised if they depart. They will come back if the foundation was legit. And as far as raising up your kids, whatever you put in them, the one thing that I think we should go forward emphasizing is respect. That is not emphasized. Do y'all hear how these young people will talk to you? Like, it's crazy. And it ain't even just your kids. It's that whole generation. So respect got to come back, because how you going to get a man to do what he's supposed to do and be a king if you're not showing him respect? How you going to get a woman to be the queen that she is if you're not showing her respect? So respect. And one other process is I think people would do good speaking with a psychologist as they enter into adulthood to get their bearings straight, because you're going to spend a lot of years in them early years trying to find out who you are, trying to see what you're going to do. You know the plight of young men, Fred. I've heard you talk about it. The women go through the same thing. You're finding your bearings. You're finding out who you are. Right. Once you know that and get somewhat of a grip, let's talk marriage. That's all I had to say. But good show, Fred.
It was an awesome show.
It was awesome. It was one.
It was.
Not just because I graced it. I think somebody said, she's 55. I didn't say I was 55.
Well, you 51, but you brought that
51.
perspective. Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it to the truth and all the fellas. You guys did excellent.
No, thank you.
So I'm out.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you guys all coming through tonight. It was awesome. Awesome show. Awesome show. Godfather of Harlem, come on. We got a new Malcolm X in that. Hopefully that 77-year-old man, he was an Asian man, that killed them 10 people. Hopefully he burns in hell. He killed himself. What else? This baby daddy situation that I believe that we got going on in America is destroying us slow. And if we want our kids and our young ladies and young men to have respect, I think the biological parents is the epic center of it all. And these traumas and these pains that these kids go through. If I would compare Lincoln's childhood to my childhood, and I'm just doing boy to boy because it's a parallel there. He hasn't. At 8 years old, we had moved to California. In May of 1985, we had moved to California because I told you guys the story. My mom was on drugs and alcohol in 85. Lincoln hasn't experienced 99.9% of my childhood. He's never walked home from school. He's never seen a parent on drugs. He's never been beaten. You know what I mean? And like, we prevent a lot of that just with our sheer presence and our ability to want to be great parents, the desire to be great parents. And I know people are turned off by the term marriage because of parents, grandparents, and their experiences with it. But it's like going to college, you know? Why go to college? You're going to drop out, right? Someone put that in the comment. Why go to trade school? You're going to drop out. Why go to the Air Force? You're going to drop out. Why go to this? Why have a best friend for 40 years? Your best friend should be the person you procreate with. And when you do the work, when you check off all the boxes before you procreate, I'm telling you, it offsets so much, because I tell you guys, I was not going to commit my father's sins. Nothing in me. You couldn't convince me. I remember I had this girl. Swear before God, I went to a college party, right? I'm telling you the honest truth. I went to a small college, right? 1,200 people, 500 people lived on campus. So you know everyone that lives on campus by face or by that. And by my junior year, you kind of know what people do, what their characteristics is, et cetera, et cetera. I had a girl. If y'all want the profile of the girl, she was Mexican, beautiful woman. She says, "I'll give you some pussy if you take this drink." I didn't drink. And I'll never forget it to this day, you know. And I was like, damn, I didn't drink that. Probably was beer or whatever it is. And I didn't choose because I was committed to not committing the same sins of my father. And I didn't know I was until I hit 30. You don't know, like when you look back at things, you don't know why you do things. But now that I'm 45, I can really hone in on, like, I'm not going to be my father. You know what I mean? And it was negative stimuli that inspired me to promote positive stimuli in Lincoln and Kennedy. And so the same effort that you're putting at your job to stay at your job and get your retirement is the same work you got, the same checklist you got to do. You know, I mean, you guys got checkpoints every day at work, right? I know I have checkpoints, you know, even though I work for myself, I still have checkpoints. You know what I mean? I can look at someone's door and see if they're home. I can, if I want to, sometimes I don't want to talk to people. I drive past, and if I see their car there, a tenant, because, you know, you got some tenants that just love to talk and talk your ear off and how's everything going. I'll drive by the property, and when I don't see the car, I'll come back to the property. Everyone has their own checklists and algorithms that they do at work, and it keeps them employed. It keeps them gainfully employed. Why is your best friend your best friend? Oh, man, we've been down since 10th grade, man. We've been down since 2nd grade because you put the work in. You didn't betray them. That's the same work we got to put in with the person we decide to procreate with. There's a checklist that we must adopt and accept. I think it is what it is, man. And I genuinely appreciate you guys. You guys were an awesome show. I can't wait to watch Godfather in Harlem. I've been waiting 1.5 years for season 3. And I just can't wait. I'm getting acclimated to the new Malcolm X shit. I don't know if I like them yet, but but I have no choice. So this was an awesome show, man. We're gonna have to bring it back, man. We definitely gonna have to bring it back. And Tavion, you owe Kyle $50. Hope that Asian man killed 10 people, man, then took his life like a coward. Why even do it? Why even do it? Took 10 people and 10 other people hurt. You know? Yeah, whew. It's tough out here. But yeah, man. Yeah, you got to come on tomorrow. Come on tomorrow. Everyone's welcome on the show, you know? So, but yeah, man, awesome show, man. Thank you guys. And all you guys, man. Yeah, go Eagles. Now, I think I got the 49ers next week in Philly. I think I got the 49. I like their defense. And we going to get our answer. DJ, shout out to DJ. We going to get our answer. Contemporary defense versus the new modern quarterback. We going to get our answers. And we got some good fight. Congratulations to Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison made the deal over there in Australia. All y'all PBC fighters better get out there and get them deals. It ain't no dates for y'all. Al ain't got no dates for y'all. So y'all going to be all over the globe, man. And 7:30 tomorrow, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. And y'all better go get y'all deals. Thank me later. You know, I should be your advisor. You know what I mean? Because Al don't have the dates. You know, I picked the 49ers when they picked up McCaffrey. I was like, man, that's the best team in football. They got an all pro at every level except quarterback. Tight end, all pro. Offensive line, left tackle, all pro. Running back, all pro. Defensive line, Bosa, defensive player of the year probably. Linebacker, Warner, all pro. Secondary, all pro, the safety. They got all pros at every level except quarterback, and they putting it together, man. So it's gonna be an interesting. Jalen Hurts versus that defense is must-see TV, y'all. Must-see TV. And it's Chinese New Year, so I'm gonna have some Chinese food and some NFL football. You know what I mean? Adrian Bro, we're gonna get the Adrian Bro in the interview for sure. We'll get that one probably sometime after his win. Hey, we got a beautiful schedule building in boxing. Beautiful schedule. Tony Harrison, him. We got Better Betev this weekend. We got a Stay Busy fight the following weekend, and then March we hit the ground running, y'all. We hit the ground running in March. It should be good. And May, that week in May 20th, Devin Haney, Lomachenko, in 1 week potentially, and we got Inoue versus Fulton 3 days later on a Tuesday. Woo, what a week. What a week that'll be, man. The fight of the year in 3 days. We get them in box up. Appreciate y'all, man. Go watch Godfather Harlem, dog. Get them ratings up so we can get season 4, y'all. Holla. Peace.